Well, speaking of sweeteners then, stevia is a common sweetener.
Yep.
Talk about sweeteners.
Yep. Stevia is the one that I've actually personally used the most. Working at the Tonic bar in Hollywood, we customize drinks for people who want low glycemic drinks, whose blood sugar won't be spiked either because they have blood sugar issues or because they're working with some kind of some kind of imbalance where any kind of sugar is going to aggravate it. Some kind of fungal imbalance or infection load or something like that is pretty common today for people to be working with some kind of immune imbalance. So keeping the sugar really low is a great principle for doing that. So the stevia extracts like this are really fantastic. That's just it's a processed stevia product. There's no inherent medicinal value in it because it's so processed, but the effects of having no glycemic reaction, no blood sugar spike in your drink is really important for a lot of people. If people are if they have a really healthy constitution and they're fine with doing some sugars, people like raw honey or other types of sugars depending on really
maple
their
syrup,
preference. Maple syrup, molasses, things like that. Yeah.
Right. Fats are also an important part of doing these drinks as well. And I know, like, when you say fats, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, fat, I don't want to have fat. But the truth is, fats are a really important part of staying healthy at a cellular level.
Absolutely. It's your major fuel source, You can burn carbohydrates, you can burn fat. When you have less carbohydrates in your diet, your body's going to burn more and more fat. And it's going to be the right types of fats, So something like a raw coconut oil, your body's going to burn that really well versus some sort of processed rancid fat that's in most processed commercial foods these days. So something like that. The coconut oil is really important too because we can use that in our hot drinks, in our teas, because it has a really high heat tolerance, up to 350 degrees or even higher sometimes. So that, another favorite fat of mine is to use ghee because that won't degrade at all in the hot teas. And so the fats also, they add a nice creaminess to the drink. And so they sometimes there are a couple herbs that are a little more bitter tasting. So they smooth that out nicely. And then also if you're working with a sweetener like a honey or something like that, something that will actually raise blood sugar, the fat balances that nicely. And also, if you're doing like a morning tea or something, you're getting a good fat into your system, and that's sustainable energy to use also.
Yeah. And then the final thing we want to talk about is just the rice bran solubles, which is another common sort of superfood ingredient.
Yeah, we'll be using that in some of the smoothies that we're going to do. And so that's really the other component. You have your base, whether it's the tea, if you're doing a hot tea drink, you have the hot water, or if you're doing a smoothie, you have the like the almond milk, hemp milk. If you're doing an ice cream, you wouldn't use any liquid; you just use ice for the base, and then you have the herbs, and then you have sweetener and fat, and then you have your superfoods. So things like the rice bran solubles we'll be using, and we'll be using a whole array of superfoods. So you're getting your regular food nutrition, and you're also getting the benefit of the herbal nutrition as well.
Right. Excellent.